The following may contain language that is not suitable for all audiences.
I'm getting better at ringing the bells.
Well, you know.
The bells!
This might be a rehash. I don't know.
It's always a rehash, bro.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that kind of funny, though?
It's just... Like, do you think people who are regular listeners are like, oh, they talk about the same crap again?
Well, even if they are, if you listen to other podcasts...
That's what they do.
After a while, it's just that there's a certain theme that goes on.
I should probably listen to other podcasts. I feel like I don't find the time to do that.
Well, yeah, the only reason why I listen to podcasts is because I like to play my suite of solitaire games. You know, it's like solitaire.
Yeah, but how do you find time to play solitaire? Like, I feel like I don't even have time to play solitaire.
Well, I don't drink.
I don't drink either.
Well, no, I don't. You know how a lot of people have like that glass of wine or the glass of beer at the end of the day to kind of unwind.
And then they just listen to do their thing.
Well, whatever. Or work on their car.
Mm-hmm.
Or work on a car.
Hopefully their car.
Or, you know, go bowling or be in the Grand Poobah, their Water Buffalo Lodge or whatever. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm kind of a weird mix between introvert and extrovert. But I think my...
Are you more naturally an introvert, or are you an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert?
I think it doesn't really matter in that sense. I think it's 6 of one and a half dozen of the other.
No, it does matter.
But I'm pretty pleased.
Either way?
Just kind of, yeah.
That's just weird. See, I think I'm an introverted extrovert.
What is that supposed to mean? You'd rather be alone, but then you want to be with, but you're happy with people?
I'm happier with people, but I'm happy to also have a little bit of time without people. But I'm happier around people. So I think that makes me more of an extrovert than an introvert.
I think that does too.
Because introverts, they really don't want to deal with people.
I don't think introverts necessarily don't want to deal with people. I mean, I think what I'm kind of, I don't know, I might actually be unsocial. Only because when I was in college, I used to use the term antisocial.
Uh-huh.
And then all my friends in the psychology classes would always tell me how, like, that doesn't mean what you think it means.
Antisocial?
Yeah.
Antisocial, to me, is somebody who doesn't do very well with other people at all.
Well,
But you get on fine with people.
right. So, like, I think antisocial is probably the realm of actual psychological disorders.
Yes. Dysfunction.
You know, like psychopathy or sociopathy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe...
Ooh, look at you using all the big psychology terms.
I don't know what that means, so it doesn't really matter. But I think I'm more on the more leaning on the side of unsocial.
But you're quite happy in a social environment.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
In fact, if anything, usually in social environments, you usually find a good spot and then people don't leave you alone.
Well, maybe I put out the vibe of I'd rather kind of be alone, and everybody's like, oh, we can't have any of that.
Yeah, why do people always come around? Just like to tell our listeners, to give them a little bit of a insight. Whenever we go to some kind of a social get together, it's usually like a work thing. Dave always finds the best spot where there's like optimal access to waiters and waitresses bringing food and like quite close to the alcohol, maybe nice and close to a little heater, and then usually we're there early.
And there's no one there.
There's no one there, so we sit
not necessarily early. There's no one there.
But David always finds like the optimal spot.
Even when I don't.
What?
Even when I don't. Like, you know, when we go someplace, and it's not me finding the optimal spot. It's me finding a spot where there are very little to no people.
Right. But it usually ends up being an optimal spot, though, as well.
Well, that's the funny thing, right? So So the way you're telling the story is kind of incorrect. It's not necessarily the optimal spot.
It's usually away from people.
I'm looking for a place where I can be kind of by myself.
Right, and then
undisturbed.
Everybody comes in. I mean, and they're like, "Oh, do you mind if I join you?" And you're like, and you're totally nice about it.
Well, no,
and
I don't.
At that point, I'm thinking, I do mind.
I mean, but the way you kind of made it sound was like I was in the primo spot, and so of course people are going to go there.
But it's like I feel kind of like territorial about it. Usually, when people are like, "Do you mind if I come in?" Because I'm like, "No, this is our spot. This is like." We've got access to the food. You just want to come over here because you want this spot.
It's not. I don't. As I think about it, it's not that we've got access to the food. The food starts coming over,
and people see this, and they don't want you to have it.
Maybe that could be it. But I'm starting to think back to some of the little.
Oh, so it's not really about the spot at all. It's about the your rapport with the serving staff.
Maybe. I mean, I remember one thing we went to. I found a place. I found a table that was kind of out of the way a little bit, so there was really nobody there. There was like a big huddle of people, kind of away from us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I just wanted a place because I wanted a place to put my drink.
That's right. I know where you're talking. You're talking about that rooftop.
Yeah, I just wanted a place to put my drink. And be able to lean on something or even sit down, and because there was nobody in that area because it was kind of as out of the way as a rooftop can be.
Uh-huh.
But there were more people milling around away from us.
Right.
So I was like, oh, cool, this is a place I can put my drink down. And you were a little concerned that the wait staff would just get bum rushed because they would go to those. They would go.
Yeah, we would never see any food.
And
because of the vultures.
And one person came to us first, and we're like, we're perfectly nice, and she was perfectly great. I kind of wish she found me interesting because I thought she was cute as a bud.
She was.
And then word got out, and so she would always come out to us first, and then all the other people came out to us first, and then all of a sudden we had this gang of people. We had like 15, 20 people on a tiny little table that can only support 4 drinks.
And then there was the consulate that I went to without you, where they had bets in the kitchen about whether or not I would say no to any food.
Well, that's knowing you, man. You never say no.
They brought me food for a couple of hours, and then I was like, "Why does this guy keep bringing me food?" And he was like, "We've got a pool going in the kitchen to see if you'll
say no."
Say no. And
well, that's like, the thing. We never say no.
And I was like, well, where are you on the pool? He was like, he's like, if you don't say no, I win. I was like, well, you better keep bringing me the food then.
It's just, yeah, I mean, yeah, we never say no to food. It kind of showed. Well, especially on me, being as short as I am.
I miss going to events and eating all that food.
Short as I am, 5 pounds on me looks like 10, 15 pounds.
I can pull it off, I think.
Well, that's because you're taller-ish. I don't know. If you're over 6 feet tall, I would say you're tall.
I think I've shrunk, though.
Well, that happens with age.
I think I used to be almost 6'2".
And you slouch.
That's true. Bad posture. My grandmother was always like, shoulders back, Matthew.
Well, maybe you should have been more like Billy Elliot.
And become a dancer?
Well, yeah. Don't they all have really good posture?
Well, yeah. I don't dance. No, I do dance.
You dance like a crazy person.
I love dancing. I miss dancing too. All these things like shat on because of the coronavirus.
I love how you love to dance, and yet when you dance, you look like Elaine.
Elaine?
Yeah, from Seinfeld.
Oh, man, I think she's so hot.
Actually, that's not quite that bad. You don't dance quite that bad. I do. And I don't dance.
I've never seen you dance.
Dude, I don't like to dance.
Dancing's awesome. Especially if there's drums.
I mean, I might dance if I learned capoeira.
For some reason, that's a very, very comical mental image of you trying to do capoeira.
Short, stout guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know. I could be like that fat guy in the commercial that wanted to tango.
I just can't see capoeira, someone being deadly doing capoeira.
Yeah, because they made it look like a dance.
But is it really full on though?
Dude, they're pretty like athletic.
Wing Chun versus capoeira?
Oh, I don't know.
Wing Chun versus karate?
2 different styles.
There's like thousands upon thousands of videos on YouTube about Wing Chun versus karate though.
Well,
Always looks like the Wing Chun guys are winning.
well, Wing Chun is pretty much all arms, and
Wing Chun's defensive, right?
well, they're both kind of defensive. But then the karate or the taekwondo that you see is not like taekwondo that they teach the military.
I saw Bruce Lee doing a one inch punch on a karate guy, and the guy went back like fucking 10 feet.
Well, you know.
And that's just incredible to me. I don't know why I'm talking about Bruce Lee, but I've been watching a lot of videos.
Dude, I could be a capoeira maestro. It's probably kind of late by now, but I can't do any of the flips with the flying stuff.
So isn't that all of capoeira?
Yeah, so I guess I can't do I couldn't be a capoeira maestro.
So wait, does Wing Chun have grappling?
I don't know enough about Wing Chun.
No.
All I know about Wing Chun is the Ip Man movies. And I'm only up to Ip Man 3.
Wait, was Bruce Lee Wing Chun?
Yes, Ip Man was his teacher.
Uh-huh.
But, well, actually, Bruce Lee was a lot of things. But, yeah, I think he learned Wing Chun under Ip Man.
Be like water.
Oh, God. Why do you have to try and impersonate him?
I don't know. I was trying to do my Bruce Lee voice.
You putting on yellow face now?
Oh, shut up.
You're being like the Charlie Chan guys?
Shut up.
Mickey Rooney and Breakfast and Tiffany's?
I think I sounded a lot like him when I said that.
You offensive person.
Ugh. That was pretty offensive, though.
You're lucky I can't be offended.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing, because I tell people I'm offended all the time. I'm never offended.
You can totally play the offended card all the time. Why don't you?
Huh?
Why don't you?
Because I'm an Asian male. I'm a fat Asian male, so it would probably help if I was, like, really slight.
So you don't want to be an Asian male?
No, I never thought of it.
No, but, like, in terms of, like, advantages I'm talking about.
Not if you're trying to get into college.
You don't want to be an Asian male?
Toughest group to compete against.
That sucks.
And if they're taking people out of pools, I think Asian males tend to score the highest in all kinds of standardized tests and whatnot. And this whole idea of Asians trying to be like approval seeking from authority because of the whole Asian culture structure.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I got the wrong gene for that.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, I don't know. I mean, at least I don't live in a country that's based on an authoritarian hierarchy.
This is true.
Because I am so not.
Maybe if you lived in one of those countries, but maybe you'd be part of the hierarchy.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think I'm just too much of a anti-authoritarian type of guy.
See, I think I am, but I'm really not.
I'm so anti-authoritarian. I don't want to be the authority.
I actually do pretty well in organizations.
Oh, I didn't say I didn't. Of course, the organization has to be in like dire straits for me to do well.
And then what happens once it's not in dire straits anymore?
Everyone wants me to leave.
See ya!
Pretty much.
Like the vets.
Yeah.
Like the vets during peacetime.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me. I usually watch White Christmas, but it wasn't. AMC didn't have it this year.
Maybe it's too offensive.
No, I think probably maybe their license of the movie went away.
I'm surprised that thing isn't in the public domain by now.
It's a good movie. I mean, there are some offensive aspects to it.
I just you keep on getting me thinking about the VA joke.
What's that?
Nothing's too good for veterans, and at the Veterans Administration, nothing is what they get.
Maybe it's changed.
It's never changed.
Really? I thought they were gonna like sort out the VA.
I don't.
Some politician was like, "We're gonna make the VA great again."
I think they have better luck sorting out the DMV.
But the DMV kind of works.
Well, the VA kind of works too.
Does it?
Sure, if you're in a place where there's nobody there.
But wasn't there a VA? Wasn't there? I mean, there's stories about people being gnawed on by rats.
Well, sure.
In the hallways and stuff.
But that's when they're kind of super busy. If you're like in a VA and nobody lives here, Idaho. Then
it's fine.
I think it's better than fine.
Huh.
But if you're in the VA in like New York City,
right,
then maybe I think you're gonna have a tougher time.
I wonder what the VA in LA is like.
Probably like the VA in New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, all those people. Oh, my back.
old man.
I am that. Well,
Old man, take a look at my...
I'm more middle-aged than old.
Middle-aged?
I think I'm technically middle-aged.
Nah, you're still young.
Sure, but, statistically, I think I've had more years behind me than I do in front of me.
I didn't think so.
This isn't an opinion type thing. There is a statistic out there for life expectancy for men, and according to that statistic, I've got more years behind me than I do in front of me.
Ugh, I don't like to think about that.
Now,
So I won't.
that doesn't mean that I'm going to follow along with the statistics. I could break them, right? I could have twice as many years ahead of me than I've had behind me, but I don't think that you can live your life thinking you're the exception. Which, funnily enough, many, if not all, of us do.
I'm going to continue to do that.
And that is your prerogative.
Woohoo!